Changing the batteries on an OTC robot is a fairly simple task and has to be done every 3 years. To get started, first you want to make sure that your robot is at its origin. This is where all the arrows on each axis lines up and your robot is turned on. So in order to access the batteries, you're going to remove this cover right above where the cables come into the robot. Simply remove the 4 screws on the top of the panel and you can access the batteries. Now, replacing the batteries is key for routine maintenance as well as if the batteries ever die. Typically they last for 3 years. Once you remove the cover, you'll see the batteries right here in a plastic bag. Now, if this is the first time you've removed them, there'll be a zip tie here holding the bag in place. You're going to simply pull the bag out, pull it off the batteries, and remove the batteries from this plastic housing. Once you do that, you're going to disconnect them from each of the pigtails, making sure that you don't drop the pigtails down inside. It can be a hassle to fish them back out. This is what the battery looks like. It looks very similar to a AA battery with a pigtail attached to it. To plug the batteries back in, you simply reconnect to the new batteries to the pigtails and do the procedure in reverse. You want to make sure that each pigtail is seated properly so that the batteries get good contact. You're going to place them back in the housing and put the bag back on it for safekeeping. Once you do this, you can stuff it back down in there. It's a very tight fit, so you just want to be careful with it when you're going in there. If you're hitting a lot of resistance, you want to try readjusting. Once the bag is back in there, you can put the cover back on and put the screws back. Now, if you're doing this procedure as routine maintenance every 3 years, typically this is all you have to do. You can clear the error that you see on your screen and you can continue running production. If you're doing this procedure because the batteries died, that's typically if you wait longer than 3 years, then you're going to have to do an encoder reset after you do the battery change. If the batteries die completely, you'll have to do an encoder reset to be able to get motor power so you can drive the robot to line up all the arrows, and then you'll have to do another encoder reset afterwards to realign the torch and the XYZ axes.